Well, speaking of kids, if you're a parent who has children affected by Saturday's false alarm, Child and Family Service can help. The local nonprofit is extending the hours of its parent line this week. Staff will be available to walk parents through dealing with trauma. Joey Keahi Olalo, Chief Program Officer of Child and Family Service, joins us now with more on what families can do to cope. Good morning, and thank you for being here. How does Child and Family Service help with trauma?
Well, Child and Family Service is one of the largest nonprofit organizations in Hawaii, and we've really felt over the years that all of our staff needed to be trained in trauma so that we can help families recognize when they've had big events, how they can positively deal with it and really move forward toward healing.
Some people might not think about our youngest residents, kids. How are they affected by this false alert?
You know, it depends on the family and the child, and some children are more resilient than others, and so it really is important for us to pay attention to each individual child and how they're responding. Some may be more clingy if they're younger. Some may be more feeling like they're closed inside and they don't want to talk and express anything about the feelings. And some may just go about their day-to-day business and you might not even see any signs at all.
Because some signs don't immediately happen.
Absolutely. Sometimes it can take days, it can take weeks, and we want to make sure that we don't have it linger too long without addressing it.
And what do parents need to know about the effects of trauma? For example, how long it might linger?
Well, again, it depends on the child and the experience, and it also depends on us as adults, how we are regulating ourselves in front of our children. So if we are struggling with it ourselves, we need to be attentive to our needs, because they're going to look to us to see, you know, how should I be reacting after this event? What is it that my mom and dad are feeling as well?
Okay, what other tips do you have for parents on how to help kids recover from this false alert?
The main thing is to validate their feelings, no matter what their feelings are. They can be sad, they can be anxious, they could be even angry. Just validate it and make sure that in every situation you're explaining to them honestly what they're asking, you know, if they ask questions, and then turn their attention to more positive activities.
Okay, and then it also says minimize exposure to social media, because there are so many posts still with social media, even some not mimicking, but, you know, making fun, making light of the situation.
Right. Absolutely, and we have to remember that children have access on cell phones, tablets, and computers, and that we don't really know where they're going to get their information from. So as much as we can spin a positive learning experience to this, the better it will be for them.
And what resources are available through Child and Family Service?
We have on our website, childandfamilyservice.org, provided a ton of links that parents can go to online for some positive resources that are age appropriate and ways that they can help their children get through these experiences. We also, like you shared, have the parent line, and they are available for parents, community members, and providers to call for additional information.
Okay, and we do have that number up on the screen right there if you do want to call and get more tips on how to deal with this with your kids. And again, it can range from our youngest, from toddler age, all the way up to being teens, and they might not automatically show any kind of feelings or effects or even talk about it. So kind of be on the lookout for signs.
Yes.
Maybe even just ask them, hey, do you know what happened? Open that line of communication. I think that's really important.
We know our children best, so we're going to know what are the unusual behaviors that they're starting to express on the day-to-day, and those are the ones that you want to stay attentive to. And for young children who don't have the words, draw with them. Do things where they can express themselves in different ways, and you will become more familiar with how they're dealing with it.
All right. Joey, thank you so much
You're
for
welcome.
being here. And again, we'll have that number posted up on our website, so go to our website for that link.
Thank you.